All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of Other News Weekly. The most consistent and longest running news show when it comes to the Otherside metaverse. And yes, look, there has not been much officially announced yet, except throughout the last week we got not one, but multiple trailers related to the Otherside, right? So we're going to briefly look at them. And we're going to focus on the Otherside trailer. That's the one that we're kind of going to dive deep into. We're going to break it down, okay? The whole thing. I'm going to give you some of my thoughts. I'm going to give you some facts that you might have not picked up on yourself. And what's up, Tomasz? Good to see you here. And we're going to look at other things related to the Otherside. But we're going to have this focus on the trailer. Just want to point out, I realize that you guys are busy. Hey, it's Christmas Day, right? It's the 26th still, kind of. Second Christmas Day. And yeah, but it was not even an option. We kind of had to make this happen. Every Monday, 6 p.m. since months. It's 4 months now. We're doing this thing. We're doing the show, and we're going to keep doing it. All right? Can't wait until the platform is actually live, and we're going to get to do it from in there, right? That's what we're all looking forward to. By the way, last thing before we get into the trailer, shout out to all the amazing souls in the Discord. Merry Christmas to all of you. That place just feels so nice and cozy. Thanks for participating. Thanks for hanging out in there. Every time it's a blast when I log in there. Congratulations to the people that got the free ebook that I did inside the Discord. Either way, time to get started and time to dissect what has been happening inside of the Otherside with the new trailer, all right? So if you haven't watched this yet, then the heck are you doing? Get your priorities straight. Christmas? Pff, work? Please. Family? Come on. Watch that damn trailer and then come back to this, all right? Because we're not going to watch through the whole thing. We're going to dissect the thing and we're going to be stopping it here and there. Okay, all right, let's go. Let's go. Okay, so already there, we got more information than we did in the last 4 months combined on concrete things inside the Otherside. Let's break it down. First of all, this is probably not going to be the final user interface, right? To pick lands, but it shows you if you have multiple lands, you can like, there's value there. You can like pick them. But the one they picked here, okay, is a naked one. Right here, if we go over to OpenSea, we can see no coda, no artifact, right? I'll tone this down a little bit. No coda, no artifact, and it's a tier 3 biogenic swamp land. All right, what that means, it's in the middle part, the core parts that was airdropped to the Bored Apes, and you can always see that by this like layer underneath. All right, enough of looking at the OpenSea listings. Back to the trailer. Just know it's a middle of the road tier 3 land without anything on it. Okay. All right, and this picture, I mean, let's full frame this. Finally, we get a sense of scale here. Finally, we get a feeling for what's actually going to be going down and what we're going to be able to build on, right? And I'm just, okay. We're missing a little bit here. Look at that. That's better. There you go. So we're getting a sense of scale here, right? Which is amazing because we know exactly how large this is inside of the game, right? And the important note that they even point out in the description here, because it's so crucial, this is all in-engine footage. What that means is this is not some cinematic trailer where they like up the settings and used like a different render approach to showing you graphics that are not real. This is what you're going to be getting inside of the experience, all right? So we know the size of this character. And then if you look at this, if you look at like these two background layers, these lamp pieces are larger than anything I would have ever imagined personally. So that's a really cool thing. With the new shot, we get more info. And right here, you get a taste of the aesthetic of the whole thing, all right? So look at that. First of all, Blue and Curtis here are tiny. Look at this spine. This is a damn mountain, right? And here I want to do the following thing. And I want to actually take this, put it into the left half, to take this, put it into the right half and split it up like this. And here we get to feel out the proportion, the scale of this, all right? First of all, what we learn right away is this is just somewhat of a caricature of the actual land. That's not surprising to me at all. But as you can see, this skull right here is just a different skull from this one right here. We don't really have the ladder into the eye, at least not from this side. But then if you look at it, the outside border of the land should be on the other side. So yeah, definitely it's turned the other way, and it's just not like a one-to-one representation. It's kind of just a caricature. So that's the first thing I pick up here. Second thing I pick up is the fact that this is biogenic swamp, and there seems to be nothing special about the land here is definitely an interesting fact. Now, look, one question that still is open is, does the tier of the land on the NFT here, right, tier 3, does this represent the size of the land? Because this is quite sizable, right? And that might be due to the fact that this is not like a tier 1, but a tier 3, right? Then what does tier 5 look like? Is that going to be like, what, like twice as large as this? Or is it going to be even more? Is it exponential? We don't know any of that yet. But I just think it's cool to see that if you have like even a tier 3, the scale of this thing is massive. And you're not going to be limited like you are with Sandbox, where like a 1x1 is not enough for a lot of the things that some people have been planning. So that's just cool to see. Let's keep moving here. One last thing is this spine of the dragon or whatever that might be, and this second skull. I interpret this as a second skull. Is also not present, right? So this is really just like an illustration, like a caricature of it, and then the actual thing is just gonna look different. So let's see what we get next here. All right, so here you see a little bit of a separation. One important fact that I picked up here is no other deeds are visible in the background, so neither in the opening here, right? There's no like other floating deeds, other floating sediments where you could see your neighbors. I just thought that was interesting. So let's see what else we get here. So yeah, again, you definitely have two skulls here. And this is the spine they walked up on, right? So this is where it began. So pretty much this shot here showed the full scale of it, right? You kind of have like these two platforms, and this would be tier 3 land. Love the sound design here. And look at that. This attention to detail, really nice. Lighting, very atmospheric. I like it. I like the way it looks. And yeah, this is just like very impressive, especially for, something that is going to be able to run thousands, tens of thousands of concurrent users. I would be very happy if this is the final outcome, if it runs at 60 FPS, which so far it has. So let's see what the future holds. Wow, I mean, just take that in for a second. That's a frame. That's a frame right there. This is just like a piece of art. Really loving this. Now the question is this a part of the sediment, or is this like a custom built asset that somebody placed on the land? Again, we don't know. It's just that's a question that pops into my mind. So this, when I saw this, oh my god, this gave me like goosebumps big time. I love that finally they actually showed in-game footage, and they showed it in proportion to the NFTs, right? Awesome. All right, so there's one more thing coming here. Interesting. So they see some kind of like glowing heart thingy. Unfortunately, this is, if you go over here to the Otherside wiki and you check all the artifacts, it doesn't line up with a single one of them. So we don't really know what this object is. Is this some quest line that is going to be ran by Yuga itself? Is this some player-made asset? We don't know. My guess would be the first one, the first guess there, that this is going to be the beginning of a quest line that we're going to get to experience, hopefully soon here. So yeah, just look, there's nothing game-changing in that trailer, but it does finally show scale. And that's like the number one thing for myself that I wanted to get a feeling for. How large is one of these plots going to be? The next thing I really care about is how is like the transportation system gonna work, and how are the lines gonna connect if you want to build bigger experiences, let's say. So those are two things to look out for in the future. But for now, we got this. All right. Um, Quick news update on the podcast. There's another episode, so go and watch that. But next up, we're gonna talk about two more big trailers here, right? One of them would be 10K TF. Is this? Oh no, this is not the 10K TF one. One of them would be the 10K TF trailer, which also happens on the other side, right? Exciting. The things are connecting here. Super cool stuff. And then next up, we're gonna briefly look at the trial of Jimmy the Monkey and another news story. So let's see, 10K TF trailer. Let's just watch this one through. There's not that much to break down in here, and let's have a look. Same piece of land, right? There's a chain. So this is like a cinematic trailer, right? Look at that. Goddamn Mad Max. Love it. Coming this winter. And as we know these guys, you already know what that means. If winter ends in like, what is it? I don't know it by heart. Is it like February or March? It means it's going to be the very last day of February or March. I believe in March you have to transition, right? To spring. So yeah, there's going to be like another experience in like 2 or 3 months. Turns out that next trip coming in Q4 means that we're getting a trailer at the end of Q4. Yeah, it is what it is. There's not much to break down inside of this one, except that I love the storytelling, and Wagmi-san. This is Wagmi-san, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, but like this is Wagmi-san. In this super epic trailer. Where is it? Right here. This is Wagmi-san, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So turns out that he has made his way to the other side, and he seems to be on the same piece of land as Curtis and Dakota here. So that's really cool. Look, there's not much to like go into here. All right. I think the scale thing with the first one is interesting. But yeah, this is just like a cool cinematic trailer. Maybe one thing to point out is that 10KTF is going to take the lead of like the main storyteller around this world. And then the other side content and the other side stuff is more like game mechanics or in-game footage and like the actual, that aspect of it, right? So definitely follow both. So those are like the two most interesting developments of this week, right? We got some content, and actually, if you look back at it, like over the course of the last month, they held up their word and they started ramping up the communications. I mean, in between like Yuga and this like other side trailer and the 10KTF trailer and the weekly tweets and everything, we're getting some good stuff here, all right? So let's talk about the Yuga thing. So I don't want to go through this whole thing and like analyze it because there's not much to analyze in my opinion. I think I share the sentiment of a lot of people on Twitter when it comes to this one, the trial of Jimmy the Monkey. So obviously it's like way out there and it's like really fun and dope and all that. I agree, but it just feels like a different like the style is obviously different and the tone of voice seems a little different. It's like, yeah, it's more silly and fun and everything. And don't get me wrong, I really enjoyed the whole thing. It just feels different. And I don't know. I can't wait to see where they take this. And I this particularly, I don't mind it. Look, like, sure, he's like shitting out a key. Okay, all right, but it's just I I'm still not sure what to make of this. As you can tell, I'm a little confused by it. It's probably because of the fact that this like style was just so different. They had like this coherent way of telling stories, even between like 10K TF style and like the other side trailer and everything. And this is just like a completely different approach. So look, we're gonna have to wait and see where this leads us down the line. I think they can definitely make that work though. Not every story has to kind of be the same in terms of they're kind of maintaining their brand in terms of the silliness and the fun loving aspect of it, and that they're not taking themselves too seriously. I love that, but I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to see the whole thing play out. Like, yeah, I think what else are you supposed to like say about this? Like, this is, yeah, it's just different. It's like definitely a new. It's like a new chapter when it comes to like Bored Ape Yacht Club. And I'm excited to see where they take it. All right, so one more thing, if you have any kind of ApeCoin, as I feel that in the real world, also you should take your responsibility to vote seriously, as should you with the ApeCoin Council elections. If you didn't know, we're in the final round here, and we have some final candidates. I'm not gonna really give my opinion on this. I'll just I'll just say one thing, and that is, I think it's no secret, and it's kind of obvious that in some of these cases, not the community favorites, but the people with like the corporate connections and the well connections kind of took this home and moved this to the second round. So definitely go ahead and vote on this. Look at the candidates, look at their posts. I think it's interesting, and I can't wait to see what the special council is actually gonna get done. And yeah, we're just gonna keep watching this as this develops over time. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, if they play their cards right, they could be a huge catalyst for the other side, where everything comes together for Yuga Labs, right? What I think is the most likely outcome here is I don't know. I don't want to speak on it. Let's just see let's just see over time. Let's just see over time how this develops. I think the most likely outcome is a lot of procrastination on like some key issues. I'll just say it. I think that has been the story with DAOs, and I hope they're gonna do their best to, matter of fact, make the control of it a little more centralized. Make the control of it a little more like a dictator would run his country, as opposed to a democracy, because that's how you get things done. And I'm just speaking like from experience when looking at the actions and the results of other DAOs. So, all right, so go cast your vote on your preferred candidate. Definitely do that. Follow 10KTF, which you probably are, and include Otherside in your prayers. Because we, especially on this channel here, we definitely want another playtest. That's like the number one thing we're looking forward to. I hope the people that win these elections actually start making things happen for the ecosystem in more of a proactive way than most other DAOs have been able to so far. And I'll just say that I'm not sure that by having the right connections to the big wallets, that automatically qualifies you as somebody who would be able to actually move shit forward and actually make things happen for this ecosystem in terms of results that are tangible and results that bring new users to the Yuga ecosystem and to the DAO. Not just the DAO, but for me, I see the role of the DAO as kind of it should be the fuel for the ecosystem, the community side fuel, when like Yuga is the corporate side fuel. And we should bring in more people. We should bring more people to the other side. I think that's the end game of the whole thing. Because where this is heading this is going to be a great story. It's going to be a great experience. There's going to be a new mint, right? But at the end of the day, what you're going to mint is probably going to have a role in the other side. And also what's happening with Meebits, and also what's happening with mutants and kennel clubs, and everything is just going to have a role in the other side. And the ApeCoin DAO at the end of the day should drive results for the other side. That's what I think. And you can say I'm biased, but like, look, I have like no invested interest in this, like barely, right? I'm just following the most interesting project in the entire NFT space, in my opinion. This is my personal opinion. I'm really excited about the other side and what they're doing. And I hope that everything is going to work together in between Yuga focusing and creating like some of these experiences. I think they're playing their cards right. But I hope that the DAO is going to be like the community side voice for this. All right, I hope that makes sense. But at the end of the day, we just need that experience. We just need that next trip. We just need that next trip because it's hard to promote and get behind something that is not tangible, right? And the results from the DAO should be tangible and measurable in terms of, okay, how many people did you actually bring in to the Yuga ecosystem? How did you do that? Questions like that, like cold, hard questions referring to results. That's what I think it should be measured on. And just currently, more of my feeling is like the people that were able to talk to the right wallets, they were the ones that got in there. So yeah, I just hope, like, consider that in your voting, and I will see you next week, where we might just get another piece of information, another piece of development. I hope you have a beautiful Christmas. I wish you a happy New Year. Next week is gonna be after New Year's, right? And I just can't wait for the next trip. Honestly, we're gonna stream that thing. We're gonna dissect that thing. We're gonna create content around it. It's gonna be a good time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you learned something here. I hope some of the scale discussion was helpful. And yeah, just give us the ODK. Give us the ODK, and I'm gonna be happy.